All right, hey you guys, this is going to go really fast. I'm going to talk about Wacom tablet settings. Let's bring those up. You can hit your Wacom desktop center, and then after that, you can hit your check your devices. So I have a couple. Let me close this. I have a couple. I have a broken Cintiq. You can see that there's no pen. So be sure that you have your tablet selected. In most cases, most of you will only have one tablet here. Yours is probably black. Mine is this little cheapy guy, which I got so it would fit in my laptop bag. The other one I normally use is this one. This is a Huion, so don't worry about that because you don't have a Huion settings. But this one was cheap, which is why I bought it. It's half the price of a Wacom. But anyway, this tablet has the settings, and I'm going to change them so that you have yours to be the same way. This is going to be the main thing that you want to worry about. Be sure that your tablet is selected. Be sure that Photoshop is selected. If you have all others selected, then it's going to change all the settings for every single program. The advantage is that you can have all the different applications that you use set up differently. But the idea is that you should set everything up to be the same so that you don't have to learn anything new. So be sure that your tablet's set up. Be sure that Photoshop is selected. What I want, what you should do, a lot of people do, is they set this second key on the pen to be Alt, which is a modifier. So you would click this, and sometimes it'll be right click or whatever by default. Change that to modifier, and then be sure that Alt is picked, and I'll show you why. Okay, so let's get rid of this now. That's already done. Oh, and your settings for Photoshop, notice how stuff is kind of different. Yours probably looks like this. If you click on Window and Workspace, Workspace Essentials, this is probably what yours looks like, with the exception of your toolbar is probably over here on this side. My preference is to have as much as I can on the right side because I'm right-handed, so I have everything here, and then this space is pretty much clear. Okay, so let's be sure that oh, and you can save the way you have everything set up. Like right now, this is the essential layout. If you want to go, if you're going to do painting or drawing, you would set this to painting, and then it would have all your colors and whatnot. I've moved everything around in mine, so my workspace, you can save, you can hit new workspace and then save your settings. So I'm still figuring out the new Photoshop, so bear with me. I don't have everything the way I want it. I don't, for this thing, let me turn off color so that really all we have are our tools, and we have our brushes. Now, in your case, you probably have these 4 brushes here, but you want to be able to see your brushes and your brush settings. I have moved all of these things. You'll have them all over the place, but I have moved these things to be in one little dock so that they're all together. Anyway, to understand brushes, let's go to the brushes. Let's go to General. Let's make sure that black is picked and our brush tool is picked. Let's start out with the hard round. So with the hard round, you just make black lines, right? If you hit X or if you hit this little switch button, it'll give you white. Got it? The quick key is X. I've programmed it into my thing here, so don't be distracted by this thing. It's really not important since you guys probably don't have one. But if I hit X, I can switch the colors. Okay? That's the foreground and background color. Right now, default is black and white. And when I draw, let me clear this out so you don't get confused. Alt Delete will fill everything with the background with the foreground color. So now we got black. Everything's the same size, right? If I pick this one, pressure size, now it detects thin lines versus thick lines. And I can press lightly and press lightly. See how I change the pressure, how hard I press? It changes the shape of the line. That's what this brush does. Now, this brush, opacity, if I press really hard, I get really opaque lines. If I press lightly, I get really light gray lines. So that way you can kind of keep layering these light gray lines to control how light and how dark you get. Okay? Now remember I told you guys to change the back button here. Let's zoom in. Control plus. So we're zoomed in, right? The front button is pan. It's also the space bar. So if you hold that down, you can move things around with just the pen, just clicking on the pen here, right? If I want to change colors, this back button now will become the eyedropper tool. Yours probably looks like this. Let me change the settings. I know I'm really digging into this part. If you pick cursors, we're off the screen here. You can change what these look like. So if you just hit standard, that's what your brush will look like. If you hit standard, you have this little eyedrop guy. So if I hit OK, now I got a brush and I got the eyedropper tool. By hitting the Alt key, the eyedropper tool will pick a color. So now if I tap, see how this has changed? Hitting the Alt key, I'm picking up a color. That way I don't have to hit a button on my keyboard. I can just grab any color that happens to already be in the painting. If I have another painting selected and I have it arranged, I can grab colors off the two. So for example, I have this drawing over here that I'm going to demo a little bit later. But if I hit window and arrange and hit 2 up vertical, I got the drawing over here and the drawing over here. So I could grab colors from this one. If I hit white, see how that's changed. If I hit anywhere over here, see how I grab that. And then I can paint over here with whatever color I grab from the other painting. So if you have colors from another image you want, you can just use the eyedropper tool, grab all the colors, and then paint in your painting over here. Got it? So let me max this out. Window, arrange. Let me just grab this one and scoot it over. All right, so there's that. Now, if you check out your tablet, you likely have touch. You can turn it on or off, but you can pinch to go smaller or go like that to go bigger. You can also rotate, to get your brush going. Pinch and rotate. Okay. If you want to get back to where you were, above the magnifying lens is this icon, and you click that and you can hit reset view. Okay, I hope that is good enough to get you guys started as far as your tablet settings go. Just remember, when your brush is selected, you want to be able to pan around by clicking the front button, and by hitting the back button you can hit tab. Okay, my preference is to, you guys can use the default cursors so that you know what's going on. It's kind of a beginner thing, but I prefer different cursors. But get into the habit of understanding how that works. That's really fundamental. Okay, I will do another video on changing the more precise settings. All right, so let me stop this and let's hope this one turned out